people, which I can translate to mean cabal, have been holding the oil and gas sector hostage. Remember on Big Story some weeks ago, or Big Stories some weeks ago, we talked about the power sector where a former Minister of Power came out and also made an assertion that cabal is the reason why the power sector has refused to develop and get to the point where it's serving 100% Nigerians. And he mentioned that into rating sales and sales. These set of people are always sabotaging, saboteurs of the power sector. So who are these cabals that we cannot discipline them? How high and mighty are these people that we cannot bring them to book? That's a question on my mind. I'm hoping that I'll get to answer on the show today, because I'm really worried. Why should the country be held hostage by cabals? And I'm hoping that now the marketers have told the Senate who is to blame, or the reason for the high cost, the price hike of cooking gas, that just maybe, something can be done. But who knows? Could it be the cabals are also in the legislative assembly? I'm thinking. I'm wondering. And this is not the first time, we would hear stories like that. But the story goes like this: the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers has accused terminal operators of unseasonably increasing the price of gas, exploiting and limiting its availability to Nigerians. The market led by the association president Oladapo Olatunju on Monday told the Senate that the Nigerian natural liquefied gas has been consistent supply. The cabals have disrupted the availability of gas to Nigerians. So, while NLNG has been doing its work, the cabals, someone said something the last time, I think, when we're talking about the power sector, and the person made reference to the Bible, where the person said that when the farmer planted, the other one went in the deep of the night to plant weeds and all of that stuff. Anyways, that's one of the big stories there. To the second big story, there's nothing wrong with 1999 Constitution, and coming from former Minister of Justice, and he's saying, really, there is nothing wrong with the 1999 Constitution. What we have wrong is people refuse to obey the law of the land. People refuse to buy the wordings in the Constitution. So, former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Kanu Agabi-san has declared that there is nothing wrong with the 19th Constitution. He emphasized the need for the nation to be to restitution and called for a National Integration Commission. I'm going to quote him. He said, "Some of us feel that the Constitution is an invalid document. It is illegitimate and is a pro-military. That is a wrong position. We have a Constitution and must observe it. There's nothing with that Constitution. Even if it is a broken down vehicle, it is the vehicle that we have. However good the Constitution is, it is not a self-enforcing document. It requires good people to enforce. It is not intended to perfect documents. The nation must deem to respect the Constitution. We should have a national integration mission. Once a nation of the presidential system of government, unity is no longer optional. I appeal to the federal government to come to terms with people who dissent this administration, who have hope we shall, or we have hope we shall get." So do you agree? Do you agree with Abby that there's nothing wrong with the Constitution? Because I think some very wonderful flaws. I think so. But my problem is everyday Nigerian. Because it is everyday Nigerian that has found his way or her way into office of governance, into civil service positions, into high places in our society. And these are people who break the laws. On the street you hear people say, "You know who I am? Do you know who I am?" Well, guy, you have broken the law. You have flouted the law. Well, what are you saying? Why do I have to know who you are? The Constitution is sacrosanct and should come first, irrespective of your position or your title. I mean, enforcers of the law are seen going against traffic. It's the everyday Nigerian. I'm wondering. But what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that we need a new constitution, or it's not about constitution? Because even if we have a constitution written today by all of Nigerians, there are still more people who will flout the laws because they want to flout the laws because they feel this is Nigeria and anything goes. Today, the loan scheme will start January 2024. My goodness me. The funny thing, that should have been part of our conversations for today. However, it can be part of the conference because things we've seen categories done by newspapers, Lagos and at Abuja, and we've seen scanty conversations coming from these locations by media there. However, nobody actually knows in details what the loan scheme really is about. Yeah, you know that they will give loans to the school, but what are the prerequisites, for the students to get the loan, and what are the payment structures? How does this impact the schools? Will the schools have to tuition fee? Government continue to sponsor? I think there's so many angles. Things are done haphazardly. I'll get your thoughts once I come back. Can I? Yes, I can keep talking. So, these are some questions in my head, and I'm asking, what are the details? How is it going to work? This is October, almost ending. We've got a couple of days more, and we will be in November, and then before you know it, it's December. January is not far off. That's what I'm trying to say. So what are the things that have been put in place? Our educational system, we're going to prove things. But I've heard promises over the years. I mean, for a long time, there's a lot of me belong to yes, promises, and I'm not really. I am. If there is a solid structure, because we know this is the first time that a loan team student, put in place a policy. It was done outside, good policy implementation because implement. How do you want to work? It's a lecture where you can everybody do and how do the government structure those things? It fails, especially students, even maybe technical subjects. But what do you think? And if you are political science, or maybe why public affairs analyst, this is where I also you think I criticize, not complain. It's to think. And I'm hoping we're getting there to the point where we are thinking not in the political direction of thinking as well. So we can think development. Because the truth is, if our educational sector gets it right, a lot of the things that you're challenged with in society will be solved. Knowledge is power. So you go to school, you acquire the knowledge, and you solve the problems in society. That's why I go to school. You get degrees, and some PhD over. No, you go there so we can get answers to problems in our country. And the reason why in my opinion, of course, a lot of the policies borrow from other countries that worked for them and refused to work for us because it's not homegrown. It's not from research centers, but research was the problems in those societies. So I'm really concerned about this very story as far as I'm concerned, and I'm hoping it's a big story as well. And I'm hoping that you can sit down and just quickly, hurriedly call into the studio today. Think about it. Loan scheme. What is really good about loan schemes? What are the pros? What are the cons? Because the last time I checked, even in the almighty United States, I say almighty because every now and then in our national conversations we make references. Even in the almighty United States, loan schemes are beginning to show cheap foundations. So what really are the pros and the cons? And how do we structure it so we can make it right? Like I've said, I'm looking at the lecture in mine and we're supposed to have a conversation, but there is no document that we make a reference to. And you can check some stories. Also, make a visual side comment on the APC in this point, going to appeal court, into appeal to final document. I could talk about one. That joins. And now, for line, you ring us 923 0002. Okay? 0817 923 0008. Number 0809-030-6416. We're live on Facebook. Yes, we are. So you want to see the face of the voice you're listening to, go to Facebook. Nigerian Info PH is the handle, or you do. When you do well, Nigerian Info PH handle, you do Tumblr /Nigerian PH, or better look at night, please have a job, you go to not really dependent on Facebook, on X, on Instagram. It's got to be social media. 20 reason like this, STA. Good afternoon, Temple. I'm great. Welcome.
Yes, I think for me, within the ambit of the law, is the song they begin to say that they have I don't know if they are well winners or what. Because after this session, this 2020 session, it was peaceful, very peaceful. And I don't see you become somebody or same mandate to pay the justice for you. That's a concern that brought him. It's free and fair. If they can contest it anywhere they want to.
Temple. Okay.
When we have city government, when we have a president, a commander-in-chief, and we will continue to say cabal, are they coming from Gabon or Ghana?
All right.
Where is their office?
All right. I would have to let you go since you can't hear me. because it has to be a conversation. I'm sorry, maybe it's the network, but when you say it was peaceful, yeah, largely peaceful, but there were reports of killings in certain localities in River State. So maybe that's what the APC is referring to. But I've got to make up from Owerri. Make a welcome. What is your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Yeah, welcome.
Canada. You see, all the stories are very, very big stories according to you.
All right.
But let me dwell on one part of your story. Canada, I disagree with whoever in this country that is telling me that the Constitution does not have a problem. I don't know. The devil makes you just pay or pay. Canada, how can you election Constitution stipulate that INEC chairman will look at his discretion to give you result of election and his discretion based upon the one transmission, the one manually, and the discretion of one individual in the name of Mahmoud. It's on the Constitution. When you allow people to do somebody's question,
so let me ask you a question. Is INEC not in charge of conducting the election?
Of course they are.
So what is wrong with INEC giving out particular way or processes to do election? What is wrong with that?
Everything.
If we're a country, where institution, where strong analysis said it. It's not. But so there is nowhere where it said the INEC chairman. It said INEC, not the chairman. INEC, the chairman. That's the question I make to you. INEC will be one to decide how the elections go, not the chairman. Wait, say you make I'm going to ask a question. Appoint troubles. It's the president. Go check it. Other countries. I'm asking other countries. US, you can appoint the judges and the electoral boards.
It's president appoint and
so what are we then saying? Anyways, Emeka, thank you. I've got to go. Thank you very much. I've got Miriam from Okrika. Welcome. What is on your mind, please?
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, please.
Thank you. You're from Okrika again.
All right, then let's
let me talk about the cabals and gas system. Look, Kalada, we know from onset that we have principal cabals, and these principalities and powers of already done. So from here, how do we be able to handle it? Even though they're practical, we have when you can break and change these principalities and powers, then fine. Otherwise, you see that they will remain and continue to torment us. Now, concerning the Constitution, I don't know if the former Attorney General is trying to confuse us. Look, we are not talking about Constitution now. Okay. What Nigerians are clamoring for now is how to eat, how to be able to feed and survive.
Okay.
If you enter in the Calabar, you carry 20,000 to enter market. You enter the market with 20,000 naira. In fact, it's so frustrating. You don't know what you're buying out just to feed your family for 2 days. It's almost impossible, Calabar. So we are talking of how to feed ourselves, like trying to distract us with Constitution.
All right.
If you want to talk about Constitution, what we need Nigeria is just to self-control. Every state should manage their.
That's part of the Constitution, Muriel. That's part of the Constitution. Don't you think so?
That's just one aspect of it that that I really need to be changed. Otherwise, bringing the Constitution now, I think it's a big distraction.
Right.
Concerning the student loan, Canada, as long as they want to extend it, fine. As long as they will not chase students out for school fees. If they want to extend it to next year ending, then the students should continue to go to school. They should not talk about fees because students will use those loans to pay their school fees.
All right, then. Thank you, Muriel. I've got to go. Robin from HA, welcome. Sorry for keeping you for so long. Welcome. What's on your mind, please?
No problem, Canada. Good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon to you.
Yes, on the issue created to the former minister, that general, about the Constitution, I totally agree with him. That has been my position anytime, any day. I take anybody. Canada, how many years does it take Abdul Salam Abubakar, general, head of state then,
judges of the Supreme Court. Canada, let me take you to Section 13, which is in Chapter 2. Fundamental objectives and directive principle of state policy. In Section 13, it says, it shall be the duty and responsibility of all organs of government and of all authorities and persons exercising legislative, executive, or judicial power to conform, observe, and apply the provisions of this chapter of this constitution. What is democracy? This past election, were people allowed to vote their choice? Across board. People were using cane to chase people in Lagos. What happened across here in River State? You tell me constitution is the problem. People were illegally sacked by the executive. They went to court, they got judgment, demonstration school. Have they been restated according to what the court says? What we hear when they go to National Assembly, off the microphone.
All right. Robin, I've got to go. Robin.
Bye-bye. Good afternoon, Robin.
All right. Thank you very much. I've got Godspar from HA. Godspar, welcome. What is on your mind, please?
Yeah. Good afternoon. Evening, Canada.
Good afternoon. It is Godspar. Welcome.
Yes. I want to look at the student loan. The federal government want to buy more than what they can do. What I mean by that? I don't think Nigeria can foot the deal. I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm listening.
Saying that if they come from here, they will class the field after their school. Where will you create the employment opportunity for them to pay back? Or if they don't pay, are you going to prison all of them? Because I don't see the formality. Except few of them that can look for jobs, maybe their own, create jobs on their own. How then would they pay? And I don't think Nigeria has the money to pay. All this thing is going to be borrowed and borrowed and borrowed.
All right then. Godspar, thank you very much.
Alternative. If they want to assist students, my own, they make it slide. If it is 20,000, 50,000 for 1 year for students, they say this is to assist you as a federal government. I don't support the loan scheme because of the inherent that is coming up after the graduate. I don't like it, to me.
All right then.
Thank you. God bless you.
Godspar from HA, thank you very much for your time. Very shortly, I read the messages from Facebook, but first, let's listen to Ida.
How are you?
Ida from Inkoro, welcome.
Brother, the federal government should please, if they are giving the loan, whatever thing you promise, you be able to pay, do it. Tabu will not take as promise and pay. They promise the student loan, they should give them the loan. And let us pray for Nigeria. I believe that our prayer, Bible says use your tongue for that thing. As I'm talking to you, I'm praying for Nigeria. And by December, I'm going to buy 1,200 naira. Rice back for 5,000 naira. I'm telling you, Gary back 2,000 naira. I'm praying, and God said He will answer my prayer.
All right.
Bible says pray without ceasing. I'm praying every day. Let us pray. God will do wonderful things in Nigeria. Thank you very much. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Great from Port Harcourt. Great welcome. What is on your mind? What are your thoughts, please?
Okay, good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon, Great. Let's hear you, please.
Okay. I want to speak concerning the issue of constitution.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with the man that said there is nothing wrong with the Nigerian constitution.
Okay.
I totally agree with him 100%. See, one thing is that the constitution are made by man. They are not brought from heaven. And no matter what constitution we use in Nigeria, it will still be implemented by man. It's just that we have bad implementers of the constitution. We have people who have refused to do what they are supposed to. Canada, let me give you an example.
Please.
You know, before now, the issue has always been electricity, railway, and some other things are always on the responsibility of the constitution we put. But before the former president took office, either we or two ago, our government also designed at the electricity and give us the electricity. Canada, you are open now. No one community are even taking advantage of that data. But initially, without any government can create this over, that one has been removed. Now, you take that issue to take advantage of the flag and try and improve the system in their state. But at the end of the day, you didn't blaming the constitution. The issue of railway also. have been removed from exclusive list. What cannot build their own railway, except Lagos State. It's only Lagos State that are taking advantage of such. Almost all the states in the country are not doing. But at the end of the day, they see them blaming the Constitution. And not the Constitution. The Constitution is not only responsible. It's only the Constitution. So the Constitution like that is okay. All we need for us to implement it. The Constitution and the issue. All we need implementation.
All right, you keep saying the same. You said the Constitution does not have any issue. What we need is proper implementation. So you're agreeing with the former Attorney General of the Federation. All right, said, and let's read the message for you. Remember right there, Nigeria. Also, Francis Omar in Amani says, good afternoon, there. Those are all said, and the federal government should be blamed for the high cost of gas and petrol pump price. CN Udenze says, who are the cabals that have remained untouchable? Who the Constitution of Nigeria is subject to instead of the other way around. This very government came with the ambition of Nigerian period. However, I believe that students will take up 24 because over the development, for example, the alleged payment of subsidy and 3 months of ASU salary. Okay, you say so. When you went ahead to say cabals without names, no be ghost be that. Mothers should be bold now in the names of the best Nigerian country. Along Sunday, when you said there's a reason high cost of gas, who are these girls and are they on charge of paying this much aside? You said the pain in the society is much, and then you said our constitution is wrong, a lot of things need to be amended. How will the police be in the executive arm of government? Police should be in the judiciary arm of government with a lot of reasons. That is your opinion, you said. All right, thank you very much. But let's head to WhatsApp and let's see. It says it's too unfortunate to this government talking about the cabals being responsible for the high cost of gas. So you know them. Confidence in Lebedim from Ozuzueche. It's not the government that said, it is the marketers that have come out to say that, hey, cabals will let business thrive. I mean, they're disrupting the distribution processes. Well, this one says, Kalada, greetings. You see, in Nigeria, we pretended, Lord, and that's our problem. We also what transpired in the just concluded election. Look at what the court is doing concerning Tinubu's certificate. So what will you tell people to do when 2027 election comes around? Are you people telling people to go get their voter's card and vote a candidate of their choice? I know you will not read this last part, but the truth is, until we come out and demand real change from these guys, we will continue to go in circles. Mark it somewhere, Franklin. All right, Franklin, thank you very much for your message. You actually knew I was not going to read it and you still sent it. I wonder. Rivers APC is likely to get justice in the appeal because the reason of party and as dismissed is inquenchable. One governorship without can be in part of the political nation. That election or decision is witnessed by Bellings from a game. The thing is wrong with not institution because it favors the leads. And I'll be that one. All right, you say so. Mida from Incoror, you said on the students' loan, I do not know why why Nigerians have been fortunate with our leaders. Instead of them to subsidize fees, they're giving loans. Same thing in Vivid State. I hear people saying Governor Sim is working when our street lights are not working. Primary health centers and local school buildings are dilapidated. So where is Sim, Fubara, and what or where are you doing the work from your change day? So says, good afternoon, Kala. I know the APC will have justice in the Court of Appeals. The election that brought Sim is not free and fair and credible. Henry from Kidney Island. Kidney Island? Okay, yes. Student loans keep starting 24. I have a problem with administration. They make statements and promises without proper planning. We were told this loan will kickstart by October, now January. Means much loans can be the guys to come out with planning on how the triple payback. We know the unemployment rate in the country is so high, and there is no guarantee these students will get a job at NYC. Only because the health and medical department will be able to pay back this loan after graduation, and as it is easier to get a job compared to the other courses. In conclusion, government should have rather channeled the palliative into the education sector by paying at least 25% of the student fee rather than loan scheme, as it is successful. Daniel from Zwala. All right. This one afternoon, 80% cause a waste of vote. I would advise him to use the money and our reporters in 20 LDAs of River State Westing for until the million in election and in authority. Elder Joel Adolphus from Degema is asking her. But let's go back to the phone lines. I've got 3 more minutes so I can answer one or two more calls depending on how quick it should be. All right, 07923 and 081 Frank and calling from the line. Frank, good afternoon to you. One show.
Yeah, it is I stood against the measures of PDP.
the population should do right thing. It went for say they go you arrive at the corner and they go to say they are body. So if you have I will thank you.
Thank you very much, Ranga. Mighty friend, welcome to the show. Let's get into it.
Canada, good day.
Yeah, welcome. Fred, pause. I saw Fred. What if it could win? What if you could win? Talk about FM Fred. I know you hear me talking to you can't. What if it was working with about it from that angle? These got given right in this constitution given good court. It loses so it. I would not, not good court. I agree on that one. I mean, it's not good situation. People withdrew. We're gonna go. There is commercial break coming up, and after business news, when we do come back, we'll look some more. By the way, you must have seen the report that River State ranks number 2 when it comes to the internally rating. And in my
Stay with us, Nigeria Info. We'll be back.
Hello, my people. Good.